Yo, hello ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon to whoever's watching this. So last week, the weekly market from last week, on Sunday, we got into this trade right here. So last week on Sunday was a 14, and we got in some NZDCAD shorts, and it was a profitable trade. It gave me 30 pips. And this was an entry somewhere right here before the meltdown. The 30 pips happened right here, and then price came back, stopped me out, and did the full run that I was targeting. Look at this. I was talking about this. Literally beautiful before the full move happened. This was posted literally 6 days ago. Look, this full push still had not been cleared. Look at this. Look at it now. Cleared. Right? But why am I even posting this video? Because of this. So that was the last trade that I took on this account, on the $40 challenge account. You can see. And see CAD shorts. And it took me out the day after. Why? Because of drawdown. The spread, it couldn't hold the account, and it took me out. On the top tier account, obviously I stayed in the trade. It was a good trade, and then we took GJ, and then right now our current trade in NZDCAD, which is we're in profit, and then we secured. We only took, well, technically 3 trades because I popped the GJ position twice. Well, I gave it another shot, but it was the same bias. But technically 3 trades, if you want to call it 4. And then right now we're still in shorts on USDCAD. That's why I didn't do a weekly markup for it this week. Right, so the NZDCAD markup was perfect for last week. And then before we go into the weekly markup, it's gonna have to be somewhat quick because 1, I have to go to the restroom, and 2, I forgot my freaking notebook because I did the weekly markup at work, not at work, at home. I'm currently at work right now. I entered at 5. But as you can see, I first marked up NZDCAD, and if you look at the notes today, look, you see I marked it up during London session. So let's hop in from the monthly. We're obviously bearish. Why are we bearish? Because price is failing to break highs above all of these previous highs. Right, price tried to break above here and it failed. Price tried to break above here and it failed. And then right now we're obviously creating lower lows and lower highs. On the weekly, you can see it better on the daily, but it's the same thing. On the weekly, we had a supply and demand zone, and the same thing on the daily. We respected it, and then boom, we had the huge meltdown, and that's the one we called last week. So now this week, if this daily closes below 081-200, I definitely see price continuing to the downside, especially if we could get a break below. I already have it somewhat marked up on the 4-hour. If we have a retest here, we could definitely have a retest all the way back to 081-200, and maybe breaking above and continuing, or that could be another lower high. Or what I most likely think will happen, we're gonna get the break below, lower high, and the continuation. Right. So now that's UJ. That was NZDCAD. Let's go into UJ. You see, London session trader as well. Monthly bearish, weekly bearish, daily bearish range. H4, H1 bullish turning bear. No, H4, H1 bearish turning bullish. So on the monthly. On the monthly, you can see price failed to break above 160. All the way here, previous strong area of supply, previous strong area of supply, turn into supply again. You can see the strong monthly candle, lower high. We tested this previous area of support, which is 140, with a strong area of demand, and now we turn into a weak support. That's what I remember talking about it on my notes. It's a weak support because it's creating lower highs after every test. You can see it's not showing any strength that is strong. You know, hop into the weekly. The weekly respected the previous area of supply, respected it again. Now we're kind of ranging on the daily here. We should have continued melting here, honestly. So the downside to 140 to continuing making it weaker. Your price is really bearish, right? I'll hop into the daily. So the daily, I remember calling the daily bearish range because we're overall bearish, but we're ranging. You can see how price is pretty choppy between these zones, but the main range where it starts is at 146, and where it ends is 148, 149, 148, 500 would be the nice key zone, right? Mainly right here, but you could kind of draw it out. Like price is failing to break above here. So either way, if price can break below here, we could get some possible shorts. If price can break back above here, we can get some possible longs, but then the longs are not going to be that far. It's only going to be all the way to 151. So, and then at 151 is what we have to watch out for. At 151, we have to see that we're going to get the sells back here to 146, or we're going to get the break, bullish engulfing candle, higher low, and then we're going to get buys above it. So this is a previous strong area supply, Was UJ, USDCAD, obviously we're still in the shorts. Previous area of demand, turning to supply. All of this liquidity built up, it's literally getting cleared up pretty quick, right? Fast created liquidity tends to get cleared up really slow. Slow created liquidity tends to clear up really fast, right? So this has got cleared up. This got created really slow. It's pushing already really fast, getting grabbed up really fast. Then we already have a bearish engulfing candle and a lower high, and I set my stop loss at entry perfectly. I'll be back. Alright, we're back. Like I said, I'm literally like a AutoZone employee, but I'm not really an AutoZone employee because it's like a AutoZone employee but for a warehouse. I have to give parts to the mechanics and the technicians so that they could fix their things inside. Back to my thing. Bearish engulfing candle, lower high, and I literally set the stop loss at entry perfectly. As you can see, we're still in the trade, and I'm still rolling. And I set my stop loss at entry perfectly on Friday. So we're gonna see today on Sunday. Today, which is Sunday, we're gonna see how market opens. It better not open with huge spread and take me out. Alright, so now it's going to GJ. Monthly bullish, weekly bullish, daily bullish, H4 H1 bullish turning bearish. On the monthly overall bullish, you can see this. Then previous area strong supply. We have a monthly bullish engulfing candle above, another monthly bullish engulfing candle above, and the higher low above it, right? And we already broke above 199. What happened to the weekly and the daily? You can see where we had a previous strong area of supply. We finally broke above it, but now we look like we're about to retest it. Hop on the 4 hour. The 4 hour is turning bearish because obviously I think we're on the way to retest it. And we already have this here. We're either gonna retest it and create a higher low and continue to the upside, or we're gonna break below it, create a lower high, and continue to the downside. That's all we could. That's all we could do, right? What I most likely think is gonna do, we're gonna continue to the upside. Last but not least, GU. Oh, I gotta fix this. I was typing too fast. Monthly bullish, weekly bullish, daily bullish turning bearish, H4 H1 bearish. On the monthly, you can see we're overall bullish now. Previous strong area of supply, we're back above it. The previous monthly candle closed above it. Monthly bullish engulfing candle above it, and then we hop on the weekly. The weekly we're above it. As you can see, we had a weekly double bottom here, a weekly bullish engulfing candle, and this looks like a weekly higher low above it. And then we came back and tested previous area of supply, and now we're mounting back to the downside. That's why on the H4 and H1, and that's why on the daily, on the H4 and H1 it's bearish, and that's why on the daily it's bullish turning bearish. Up on the daily, you can see we touched this previous area of supply and demand over here, and we respected it, and now we look like we're melting all the way to 134. And on the 4-hour, we're bearish. So clean and simple, right? What I do think is gonna happen, we're gonna continue to mount to 134. And maybe at 134, we're gonna do something like this, very similar to GJ. We just have to wait. Either this or this. Very simple. This is actually would be a clean trade either way. We have 300 pips to the upside here, and we have 250 pips to the downside here. So definitely everything is looking good. And if we were to add confluence to this trade, if we're selling USDCAD, then more than likely we're gonna be buying GBPUSD. It's just obviously right now they're not in confluence. Right now they're correlating, because normally they go against each other. They negative correlate. So they're correlating. All right. Back to work. Peace and love to anybody watching this. I command your health, wealth, knowledge for you and your entire family.